Hey everyone, welcome to Erky's World. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your love and support so much, and I appreciate your patience so much. I know you guys have been hitting me up, dying, waiting for this labor and delivery video, and let me tell you right now, you are not gonna want to miss this story. Do not skip ahead. You want to know every single detail. I know I can like put this into like a 2-second video and was like, okay, long story short, this is what happened, but since since this labor and delivery was so crazy and so hectic, I wanted to give you guys every little detail, and I wanted to make sure that you guys knew exactly what was going on so that you can picture it in your head what happened, and in a minute you will realize and know why I wasn't able to get as much film as I did. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can meet Romeo right now. I posted a picture of him already, but if you wait on later in this video, you will see him live, and you already hear him back there. I just fed him, so hopefully he's okay. He's like up right now just looking around. He's like, why are you talking so much, mama? So the reason why it took me a while to film this video is because I just wanted to get in the hang of things, not have to worry about filming, just enjoying Romeo and my family. My sister was here for a week after I had Romeo, so all that was going on, and you guys know that this crazy pandemic is going on also, so I just want to sit back, relax, let my body heal, and I'm finally able to film for you guys now. So I'm not gonna have you guys wait any longer. Let me just get straight into the video. So from the very first footage that I do have, I'm just gonna give you guys like background of what happened before this first video, because I pictured myself doing like this perfect vlog and was like, hey, I'm having contractions, I think I'm gonna go, I'm gonna hop into the car, hey, I'm here at the hospital, we're just checking in, hey, I think I felt another contraction, here's my contraction line thingy graph. No, you guys, that no did not ever happen. So background information, I did post a 36-week update. After that I had my 37-week update, and I know in my 36-week update I was like, don't have your doctor check you if you're not having contractions, there's no reason for her to check you, blah blah blah. I definitely contradicted myself, and at my 37-week, did you guys hear that? That's probably why Romeo, that's probably why he's all rowdy. So my 37-week update with my doctor's appointment, she checked me and I was 3 centimeters. I didn't have any like real contractions. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. So sorry about that. I had to change him and feed him again. You guys know the drill. So anyways, so my 37-week doctor appointment, she checked me, I was 3 centimeters. I was like, okay, I've had a few contractions here and there, but nothing crazy to go to the hospital. I'm just feeling like really light, mild cramps, which that's what contractions feel like. So that whole week I was just walking around as much as I could, bouncing my birthing ball, doing so many exercises, and then finally Sunday comes and I'm like, you know what, baby, you are coming out. My sister was here for 2 weeks. She was here to help mostly watch Leo when I do go into labor, but she also wanted to be the first auntie to meet Romeo. So that Sunday night, which was the 19th, spoiler alert, if you guys want to really figure out how crazy this story is, the timestamps that I'm about to tell you and compare that to the time I actually had him, it is on my Instagram picture of Romeo, so if you want to go see and check it out, just check it out real quick. But anyways, so if you don't want to spoil it, let me tell you the story. So that night I was doing so many exercises. I was like making shit up like to like help move him down my birth canal, and I'm just like doing all this and making up exercises and shit. So finally I go to sleep maybe like around 9 o'clock. I wake up at 11:30, and every night I had maybe one contraction, very mild, but enough for me to feel it and wake up. So that night I felt one, and I took like a mental note of it at 11:30. I tried to stay up maybe if I had another one, but no, I fell back asleep. And then I'm gonna show you guys like time receipts of the text messages, because I want you guys to see exactly, and I want you guys to believe me, because if I tell you this story, you're gonna be like, no, that's not what happened. But I'm gonna put it on this side. Let me move over a little bit. I'm a super light sleeper right now because every night I'm feeling a contraction and I'm like, oh shoot, am I going into labor? No, let me just go back to sleep. So at 12:30, hubby texts me something super random. Damn, 1.2 million views, you need one. You need to do one like that. He's talking about my YouTube videos. And I'm like, I'm trying, LOL. Where you at? This is 1:05. On the couch, napping till 4:30. If you guys know, he is in the oil field, so he does loads randomly, but he's able to come home, and sometimes he'll be able to finish the load later on in the day. No load on you, right? That's what I'm talking about. 1:15, he's like, no, it's at the yard, are you okay? And I was like, LOL, I'm getting some contractions, been feeling them since 11:30. I know I did. I know I said I've been feeling them since 11:30. That was one that I felt at 11:30, and then I fell back asleep. But let's keep going. Okay, then let's go. That's 2 hours already. You're out of 4. I was out of 3. And you're having contractions for 2 hours. That's why I came home in case this happened before 5, LOL. I was like, no, LOL. It's not consistent yet. I don't want to get stuck in the hospital if it's just me dilating more, because I was at 3 centimeters 1 week ago, and if I kept going to the hospital every single day, that's just annoying. I want to labor at home. I want to be able to be comfortable at home until I actually need to go to the hospital. And at this time I was looking up on Google, like, when should I go to the hospital for contractions, and they told me, or what I read was, it should be 5 to 7 minutes apart, lasting 30 seconds long. And then he said, okay, at 1:21, they don't let me eat, LOL. You're not supposed to, blah, blah, because, you know, how I feel about that. So he's like, okay, well, remember who had an easy birth, trust them, they know what's good. And then I said, I'll keep tracking. He said, okay, I'm gonna take a lap, let me know when it's time to roll, LOL, okay. I'm gonna show you guys also, I was keeping track of my contractions since I woke up. At 1:22, I felt another contraction. Then at 1:29, I felt another contraction. That is only 7 minutes. And then again, I felt another one at 1:38. So then I was only able to count 3 contractions. And then at 1:43, my water broke. So I'm just laying there trying to feel everything that's going on down there. This is my second child, so I know what when my water breaks, I know what it felt like, because I felt it in my last pregnancy. Sometimes you feel it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it just is spontaneous or whatever. But it's like this feeling of a little pop, and then you feel like a little rupture. If you ever felt like your stomach growl like really hard, it kind of feels like that, and then a little pop. And then I felt a little bit of water going down my canal, and then I didn't really trickle down on my bed. So then I texted my sister. I was like, hey, are you up? I think my water just broke. And then she woke up, and then that's when hubby was like, is that you moving around? And I said, yeah. You okay? You turn on the light. That was my sister coming into my room. And then he said, okay. And then at this time I was telling my sisters, like, hey, my water broke. She was grabbing me a towel, and she was like, well, if you want to just keep laboring, because sometimes your water can break and you don't labor or give birth till like the next day or whatever. She's like, whenever you feel comfortable to go, go ahead. And then that's when I started feeling my contractions a little bit stronger. And I texted him and I was like, we should probably go, LOL. Wanna come get the rest of the stuff? He said, okay. That was the end of the text messages. So after he came up, got the rest of the stuff, and we probably left the house maybe around 1:50, 1:55-ish. And then that's when you see the very first video that I'm going to be showing you guys. So yeah, enjoy.
So a little unexpected. I took some time from work. I was doing something, I took a break, just in case when I get home and somebody been having contractions. For how long?
Since 11:30.
For 2 hours. Where we at now?
It's 2 o'clock.
We on the way? How you feeling? Did a lot of work at home, huh?
Stop it.
Stop what? She did really good at home. Very far along the way. Gonna hold it till we get there so it can be nice and easy. Professional. They gonna think I work for the president the way I'm driving.
And that is all I got. I know you guys are probably so pissed off and like wanted to see like this whole crazy labor and delivery video because I'm like building up to this moment, but you guys, so I left the house at 1:55 a.m. and if you did go and check and see the spoiler alert, I had Romeo at 2:28 a.m. so within that 30-minute time frame, like I said in the beginning, if I recorded the whole thing on my camera wouldn't have died by the time I had Romeo. So since you guys are able to see all the craziness that happened, I'm gonna try to give you guys like the most detailed vlog story, labor and delivery story as possible. So like I said, don't want to skip through this because it was intense in there. So we left at 1:55 a.m. That video, I even have the timestamp for you guys. It was like 1:59, I believe. So it takes us 35 minutes to get to the hospital. But hubby was going down the freeway. Hopefully we didn't get in trouble, but we're not getting caught in the act. So hopefully we don't get in trouble. But he was going down a 60 mile per hour. The top was like 60 miles per hour. He was going like 120. At one point I looked over and he was going 140. You guys, if my sister wasn't here, thank God she was here, and we had to bring Leo over to his cousin's house or to the babysitter's house first, I swear to you, I would have had Romeo in the car. So thank goodness she was here. When I got to the hospital, there's an entrance specifically for labor and delivery, so we went there and the person brought a wheelchair in for me. Keep in mind, I was calm in that video. You can see me like talking. I was calm like that the whole entire time. I just know from my last labor and delivery how to breathe and stay calm and relax, because you want to relax and let your body do the contractions and stuff like that. And if you're tense up and all that stuff, you could probably just be holding back what your body's supposed to be doing, which is pushing your baby down. And if you're like squeezing and intense, you're basically not letting your contraction do its work. So anyways, yeah, I was calm like that the whole entire time. At one point I wanted to turn around and straddle the passenger seat, but hubby was like, no, you need to stay and put your seatbelt on and stuff like that. So we got to the hospital and the person came out with a wheelchair. I was like, no, I'm gonna walk in, and hubby was like, no, you need to sit down. So it was very uncomfortable for me to sit like regularly how you normally sit on a wheelchair. So I go up on the wheelchair and I straddle it because that was the most comfortable position that I wanted to be in. So that person, thank goodness he didn't make me like sit regularly. So I was straddling the wheelchair the whole time. Since this whole coronavirus pandemic is going on, before we went in, it stalled us even more. They asked us so many questions. I don't even remember if I answered them correctly, but they asked if you had a fever, if you've been around somebody who's sick, blah blah blah, and they give you this little sticker and a wristband, and if you don't have that sticker or wristband on visible, they kick you out the hospital. And I'm like, y'all not gonna kick me. But anyways, then they give us a face mask. The labor and delivery is upstairs, so we went up to the elevator. This is one bad part on me, is that I didn't call ahead and say, hey, I'm coming and I'm laboring and my water broke and all that. I didn't pre-warn the hospital just because of how crazy everything went. So I did call my doctor on the way and told her that I am on my way to the hospital, and so the line person that picks up the phone after midnight, she's like, okay, I'll let the doctor know. So like I was saying, this is the bad part on me also, is because since the last time I delivered there, which was with Leo about 1.5 years ago, they changed all their steps. So they have a labor and delivery ED, which you get checked in, you get checked your cervix, and you labor there, and then you actually go to the labor and delivery room. So we checked in at the labor and delivery desk. I remember how the setup was. I just knew in my head where we were at, which was the labor and delivery check-in. Then she's like, hold on, honey, we're taking you to another spot. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, the room is just right there, take me right there. But this is when I didn't know that I had to go to the labor and delivery ED. So I told her, I was like, my contractions are getting more intense. I think I feel like I have to push. She's like, hold on, honey, and then she's like, I'm taking you to the other room and then I can check you there. And then I was like, I have the urge to push. My water broke on the way here, before I came here, and I'm just like super calm and telling her all these things, and she still wanted to take me to the labor and delivery ED first. And I'm just like, okay. Then I finally get into the room and I can feel him pushing out. Like, I have the urge to push, and she's just like, let me check you, honey, go onto the bed. And I'm like, girl, I cannot get on the bed, do you want to help me? Meanwhile, my hubby's like running around trying to figure out what to do, where the doctor is, what he needs to sign and all this. So we haven't signed any papers or anything yet. I did do my pre-registration, but that didn't really matter, and I'll get into that later on in the video. So so we get into the room. She's like, go on the bed, honey, so I can check you. Let me see if you're crowning. I'm like, I'm crowning. And she's like, okay, honey, let me see and I'll check you. And so I'm trying to like straddle the bed, and she's like, no, you need to lay down, honey. Like, she's like super calm, like, because I'm super calm. Maybe I should have just went in there and started screaming. Then she might have believed me, but anyways. So she's like, okay, let me check you. And then I finally find some kind of might to curl up on the bed and lay down. And she just looked. She didn't even touch me or anything. And she's like, oh, you're having the baby. So this part kind of blurred out. But after that, I guess she told all the nurses to come in and help her, because I was crowning. Hubby, I don't think he was in the room. I think he was just running around trying to find the nurses and the doctor and stuff like that, because hubby sure believed me. So then she's like, don't push, you're not supposed to deliver here. We got to take you to the labor and delivery. We don't have any of the supplies here. She's talking about like the baby warmer and all the IVs and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I gotta push, I'm sorry. She's like, don't push, honey, the doctor's not here. Meanwhile, I can feel myself crowning, okay? And she knows I was crowning. She's like, hold it in, and I probably held it in one contraction, with all my might. But honey, you know, when you have a contraction, you have the urge to push. So I have the urge to push, and she's like, don't push, honey. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then I push and I feel his head come out, and I know this is when hubby came in the room, because I saw his face and he was just like he was like in shock that I was actually having the baby, and he wasn't there to be able to like see that. And he was out running and finding the doctor, so he was kind of upset about that, but it's okay. So he was in there, and meanwhile all this is going on, I'm not thinking about picking up a camera and vlogging. He isn't either. He's trying to find the doctor, he's trying to do the paperwork, he had to send some papers and stuff like that. So it was super intense. So then everyone's like doing all this, like one's trying to put an IV, one's trying to do this, and one's trying to do a paperwork, and one's trying to do another thing, another one's trying to hold the baby. And I looked over at hubby and I'm like, why isn't he crying? And for a split second I was like, okay, he's not all the way out, let me just push one more time. So I finally have the urge to push one more time, and the baby comes out, and the nurse was like, time of birth 2:28 a.m. blah blah blah. Then I like start bleeding a lot, and hubby's like, what's going on? She hasn't bled like this. And then finally the doctor comes in and was like, whoa. And I look over, and this dude is like walking, strolling, but I know that all the nurses were running in and out of the room and was like, she needs the doctor, where's the doctor, go get the doctor. So finally comes in, he puts the clamp. It took Romeo a while to actually cry and breathe, and I know in my past research it's okay for your baby not to cry initially, but that moment when you're a mother and you have in your head, and you know in your head that a baby initially needs to cry to take that first breath into the world, and it's very important so that their lungs can come out and breathe and get all that fluid out. So for that split, maybe 3-5 seconds that he wasn't breathing, it felt like an eternity. And then he finally started crying, and they finally put him on me, and hubby was able to get a picture of that, so I'll put a picture of that right here. So then another nurse comes in, and she's like, oh, are you doing delayed cord clamping? And all the other nurses were like, not really, but I guess he's getting it now. So I was able to do the delayed cord clamping, and then the doctor finally clamps the cord and then tells hubby to cut the cord. And then I know that I just kept bleeding and bleeding, and then that's when they like start pushing on your stomach and like trying to like do something, like make sure you harden or something so that you contract back and go back to normal. I kid you guys not, that part hurt way worse than the whole entire delivery. I kid you not. It just was like I really had to take really deep breaths and relax when they were doing that, more than when I was pushing. Put it that way. That's how bad it hurt to me. So then I was able to hold my baby, so I was happy about that. And he was crying, and then another nurse was like, okay, I need to take him to the nursery. And I'm like, well, all the baby stuff is here, what's going on? And then so she kind of just takes him, and she looks over to another nurse, and she said, I need to take him to the nursery. And if she did not turn around, because of all the crazy stuff going on, there was just so much commotion around me that I didn't realize that I realized she took the baby from me, obviously. If she didn't turn around and tell the other nurse, I need to take him to the nursery, that baby would have left without hubby. And I looked over at hubby and was like, don't worry about me, go with the nurse and follow the baby. Because like I said before, we didn't do any paperwork, we didn't have any wristbands, we weren't signing anything yet. So that's why, I watched too many Lifetime movies, you guys. So that's why I was like, okay, no, you need to go follow her with our baby. So she took him, and then I was still in the room. I was still in the labor and delivery ED, which I was the very first person to deliver in the labor and delivery ED. That's how brand new everything was to them. I don't know. I felt like everything went smoothly, but I felt like everything didn't go smoothly. In the moment, it was, thank goodness, it was an uncomplicated birth, and everything went as smooth as it could be. But I felt like they could have handled the situation better. I felt like the doctor could have been there even faster. That wasn't even my own doctor. That was the on-call hospital doctor. So yeah, that was super intense. Let me take a breath. After that, I wasn't able to see baby Romeo for 5 hours. I had him at 2:28 a.m. and I probably didn't see him till like 7 a.m. So thankfully hubby stayed up all night watching him in the nursery, because they still didn't have put a wristband on him, the little baby tracker and all that stuff. I finally, maybe like 20 minutes later, I finally go into the actual labor and delivery room, which the room was super bigger. I would have felt so claustrophobic if I was like taking a deep breath and like looking what's going on. The room is smaller than like my walk-in closet. Okay, not literally, but the room is pretty small, and there was like 10 people in there, including me and my hubby. So it was a really small room. But yeah, so I finally go into labor and delivery. They give me more medicine. I have everything written down here, but I gotta double check which one was which. So for sure I know they gave me Pitocin to help me stop bleeding, because I kept bleeding like really big clumps and stuff like that. So I was like super shivering because the Pitocin is in a fridge and it's cold and it's going straight into my veins. So I was super cold, I was shivering, probably for about an hour or so. But they said it's normal that you shiver and all that after labor, but I'm like, that didn't happen last time, but okay. I was probably in the labor and delivery room for about an hour or two. Keep in mind, I still haven't been able to get an update on my baby, but luckily hubby was there in the nursery getting updates, so I just kept calling him, FaceTiming him. He's like, just let them do what they need to do, and I'll keep updating you. So then I go into the recovery room, and I finally get a call from the nursery, and they updated me on Romeo. So I have the notes of what's happened with Romeo. So they claim that it was a rapid birth, and I mean, I had him in the canal, like I was pushing, and that, you know, that initial push helps with getting the fluid out of his body and stuff like that, but they say that it was too much of a rapid birth, but whatever. So they said they had to do a chest x-ray on him because his oxygenation, blood levels, I'm not sure exactly what they said, but it needed to be at a 95, and he was calculating in at 65-70. So they did 3 blood tests, which is a septic workup, which is the white blood cell, the GBS, if he had an infection, and they were gonna put an IV on him. So they put oxygen on his nose. I think they did the face mask for a little bit, but they had the oxygen through his nose. I just couldn't sleep. Hubby was like, make sure you get rest, let them do what they need to do. Romeo's okay, he's doing better. Every time they like lessen how much oxygen they give him, he's doing better with breathing on his own. So that was just keeping me up, and hubby would come in and out of my room, and he's like, do you want to talk to your pupils? And I'm like, no, I don't. I want to see my baby. I want to nurse. I want to give him food. So that's why you guys didn't get much film from me in the hospital also, because I was super worried about that. I didn't want to think about anything else. So yeah, so I finally was able to see him around 7 a.m. and I finally got to nurse. That boy was so hungry, he just like grabbed right on and was nursing right away. So yeah, I'm super happy that everything went well, and everything went well as much as it could. This craziness, it all happened within 30 minutes, and hopefully it didn't make this video way too long, but I wanted to give you guys as much detail as I can, because not one pregnancy is the same, not one labor and delivery is the same, and I just wanted to tell you guys my story with Romeo's birth. So hubby did say next time if I have even one slight contraction, he's taking me to the hospital, because my track record is no bueno. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to give this video a thumbs up, because Romeo is super healthy. A quick update, Romeo didn't pass his hearing test on the right ear on the first time, and then the second time was good. He just needed more time to get the fluid out. He did perfectly good. He was super healthy. He had a little bit of jaundice, but other than that, besides what they were doing with him when he first came out, he was perfectly okay to go after a day and a half, and so was I. I didn't tear, I didn't rip or anything, and because I didn't rip or tear, I felt like I recovered so much faster than when I did with Leo, because Leo did tear. I teared internally, which I had 2 or 3 stitches, so it took me a while longer to actually recover. When I got home, I felt great. I felt like I didn't need to take my medicine, but my sister's like, give your body a break. Can you at least take your medicine for like a week? Let your body recover. Like, you just had a baby, girl. Like, take your medicine. So before I close out this video, I do have one more video that hubby did take while we were in the hospital. I know it's not the like perfect labor and delivery video that I wanted it to be. I really wish that you guys would have been there and seen the real footage, because of how crazy everything went. And of course I want a video of my labor and delivery, but everything was intense. Thank God above for everything that happened, for the protection, for everything going as well as it went. But yeah, so like I said, if you guys have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about that labor and delivery story. It was crazy, it was intense, but I'm glad I was able to get this story out for you guys. I'm sorry if it was way too long, but I just wanted to tell you guys like extra detail of what happened. Oh my gosh, one more thing. I almost forgot to introduce you guys to my YouTube channel. So let me go get him real quick, and then you guys finally get to meet him live. Oh. So you guys, this is Romeo Angel Syriaco. Oh my goodness, is that how you say hi to everyone? Hi baby, say hola. Say hola. Say hi baby. Hi. So in my upcoming videos, you guys are gonna know why we named him Romeo Angel Syriaco. With my last video of like my baby boy names that I love, I did have Matthias. Matthias was like my #1 that we wanted to name him, but something else came up, and I'll tell you guys that story in another video of why we named him Angel instead. But yeah, if you pronounce it with the Spanish accent right, it's Romeo Angel Syriaco. Did I say that right, hubby? Let me know. He was born 6 pounds 8 ounces, right? I think. He is born at 2:28 a.m. and he was 18 inches long, 18 inches and a quarter long. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, you. But this boy is a little chunky hunk. Look at these legs. Oh my goodness. You guys know, with Leo was just straight up skin and bones, but this boy loves to eat. I don't even have to wake him up to eat on time. He's just growing and growing and growing, and he's super healthy, and I can't thank God for anything better. Oh, oh my baby. Oh, you guys see his face? Yes, I'm talking about you, baby. Oh my goodness. Look at those cheeks, you guys. Okay, let me get a closer look. Is that better? Oh my goodness. Say hi, baby. Oh, does he look like me, you guys? I love you. Te quiero mucho. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down there, tap the bell button to be notified every time I post a video, and I'll see you guys next time on Erky's World.